Hello, friends, and welcome to patch 7.32b, which dropped last night. We played it on stream, and I want to share some initial impressions on it and the meta as a whole that has developed since the patch came out a week ago. Which, of course, this is still just really it's just first impressions. Likely to change as the patch goes. It's kind of how the game works, but I want to share some initial thoughts because I know you guys are always asking. So, general changes, we don't really have to worry about this. It's mostly bug fixes. So if you have a hero you like and they've been having problems, just check out this list and see if they've been fixed. Item changes, the biggest one is Soul Ring. This is a bigger deal to mostly offlaners, especially the strength ones who would build Soul Ring, because it just takes longer to build Soul Ring. So that means you are spending less money on, say, regen, for example, because you're trying to save up for the Soul Ring. And then the Soul Ring hurts you, right? So you want to buy more HP regen if you needed that, but you have less money to do so. So big nerf overall. I'm actually quite surprised by the amount of money they buffed this up. 155 extra gold is like a whole creep wave. So I think that's the biggest nerf. That'll definitely affect which offlane heroes get played, in my opinion. So these changes, I think, are smaller, so I'm not too worried about them. Same with the neutral changes, just like mild updates to the new items. It's hard to judge how good these will be. The Occult Bracelet with the mana does seem like a really nice item. For hero changes, most of this is just small buffs and nerfs to a lot of heroes. The people who went way overboard on the last patch and the people who are, really bad. So speeding through here, Anti-Mage, this is a big buff in my opinion. Allows him to play a lot more aggressive in the early game, which good anti-mages do. Pub anti-mages, PSA, aggressive early game, if possible, into a period of farming, and then you end the game at a good time. A lot of pubs, way too passive, or way too aggressive and don't get their items and miss their timing. So learning to balance that, this slow, really pushing you towards that. This is a lot of slow for the early game, so I think Anti-Mage can actually get kills to start, win his lane, and then enter his farming period. Bat Rider, I didn't realize was doing so well with his sticky napalm change, but chat helpfully informed me that he's smashing everyone, apparently. I just hadn't run into him in my pubs yet. So nerfs to him, I think that's fair. The napalm changes on Bat Rider are always tricky. It always like snowballs. He really bounces between like no one plays him to like oh my goodness he wins every matchup, and he's currently on that latter territory. Beastmaster's been doing well. I think it's Drums of Slom even buffed. I expect to see this more, but Beastmaster's not terribly popular usually in pubs, I feel, so taking some time to see this. Support players, Bounty Hunter keeps getting small buffs. I'm really excited to play Bounty Hunter. Invincible with the amount of armor he has, and then a lower Janata cooldown. Who else? Brood buff. Brood's not too popular though, so Centaur buff. Still haven't tried him as a support yet. Still want to. Keep an eye out for that. I'm very excited. I don't know if it'll be good, but at least once for the laughs, right? Clockwork buffs, if you like Clockwork, just lots of little small buffs. Dawnbreaker, I think, is now just like, we're getting towards being an average hero. All these nerfs are adding up. Still good, I think, like on the good half, but getting closer to just being normal, just an average hero. Lots of DP buffs for core DP. I don't think so much for support DP, but maybe. Always one of those like flex value heroes now that people start doing it. Hoodwink seems to be doing well. Who else? Lich, small buffs. Marcy really got hurt by the change before, I think. All around buffs to everything, and I think this is making her just a different, not like fully different. All the skills are kind of the same, but like the blink stun being removed is a big change. So I think with all these other new buffs, she's approaching being just like a good hero again, but just different. Like you just can't like expect to like instantly initiate all the time. You are now a very mobile hero who has like repositioning, but it's different. It's more counterable in my opinion, and that's fine as other things get buffed. It's more important to like play around other heroes rather than like do everything on your own. And I think that's fine because it's pretty hard to balance the blink stun. Mars, tons of nerfs. He's been popular for a really long time. Soul Ring nerf as well, Bracer nerf. So Mars will probably still be picked. I don't know. He always stays, even though no matter how much I think he gets nerfed, he always comes back. So I don't know. I do think this is a pretty significant nerf, and I would say he's out of the meta, but I've said that before, and he never leaves. Big Naga buffs, big Nature's nerf buff. Fortunately, Naga's not too popular in pubs, but I do think she's looking good. but most of you probably won't experience that. Same with me. Natures, we do see them a lot more. Fortunately, when someone picks jungle natures on your team, they'll scale a good amount better. 1.5 base attack time is pretty solid. He's already got good stats, buys a lot of right-click items, so you might actually like see nature jungles like carry. And that's a joke, guys. Don't actually pick nature's jungle, but when you pick core nature's prophet, for example, like I think it'll be better. Some PA nerfs, sure. She's always a pub favorite. Illusion buffs, or not illusion buffs, illusion heroes getting buffed. Phantom Lancer, another buff for him. Just like Naga. Primal Beast, getting close where I think we can start playing him as support again. I don't know. I'll try it maybe. I think he needs like one more small buff, but Primal Beast starting to get picked more, especially as a core. He's still really like weak to stuns and silences because it just like cancels a lot of his stuff. So I don't know what it takes, but like when burn in a buff, maybe, and we can start playing support. Primal Beast again. Lots of little changes here. Silencer, Rubik look good for supports. Undying, I think, is still really good as a support. This Scepter change is more for core Undying, so it doesn't really affect support. This Tombstone nerf is a nerf, but like 5 seconds is totally manageable, so whatever. And then Witch Doctor, big. I underestimate him, I feel. I think a lot of people have. I think he's looking really good. He has been buffed straight for like 2 years in a row now or something. With the last patch, I thought that was already a lot of buffs, and then they decided to give him even more buffs. So I think he's really good. Part of the reason why, let's just get to the meta update, actually. So let me change that. So supports, I think, are good right now, and let's talk about the meta as a whole. I find laning to be a lot more important than it used to be. I don't know, laning, I feel like I keep saying that every patch, but I think heroes who can win the laning stage and like to stay in the lane a lot are doing well. And when I say play the lane, by the way, like staying in the lane if possible, not someone who relied on a lot of pulls. You still have to pull when you can, of course, but you don't want to have to. I think with these banner creeps every minute, it's becoming more important to like be near the creeps, get the shared gold from the enemy banner creep, try to deny your own. Pulls can sort of do that, but then you're usually out of range for the banner creep to get your own golden XP. I have found that with the passive and gold changes, passive gold and XP requirement changes, there are many games that are just going into stomps. Just like whoever wins the laning stage hard, they keep playing the game like normal because they're able to farm more, but the team that has to play like cautious and scared is really struggling to catch up because you can no longer just like, oh, we'll hit 6 and we'll get a kill. I mean, you kind of can, but like 6 is coming a full minute or two later, especially if you're having a rough game out of the laning stage. So I'm finding it very hard to recover. Many of my games are very lopsided. Some of them are griefed, but I have had many games that are like 30 to 50 kills to 10, and it's just tough, I think. So I have liked heroes who can win the laning stage and like to play the lane a lot. So when we look at the list of heroes I think are good, Undying, just very strong right now with the decay changes, likes to stay in the lane, doesn't like to do a lot of pulls if he doesn't have to. You get kills, you just smash people around, and then play like a pretty good tempo from there. Same with Crystal Maiden, whether you go QW into the aura, or you get the aura at level 2 now with a good spellcasting teammate. You just get to play the lane a lot. You get to kill enemy heroes potentially, or at least compete for a lot of the like banner creeps. And then when you do roam between stuff, Frostbite allows you to pick up a jungle creep as you move here and there. And I think that helps her to make up some of that gold and XP changes from the patch. Similarly, Chen, strong laning presence, and then he usually jungles a little bit as he runs between, so he's also getting that extra gold to keep up. Omnite, strong laner, lots of little buffs to him. I think he's looking good. Witch Doctor, very much like the lane because of like the cask and the maledict are easier to use in the laning stage, easier to bounce, get your teammate to cast a couple spells and auto attacks, make maledict do a lot more damage, easy kills from there. Then his like radiance now, his heal, pretty absurd. I wasn't sure if people would like just level that up straight up level 1, like level 1 through 7, but I think the mana costs are a little too tough, so people are still going like QE into the heal. And then as he walks between jungle camps, you know, with his stun and with his radiance, he can farm those. He has a lot of solo kill potential with his ult and his shard. Keeps getting buffed, you know, so I think Witch Doctor's looking really good. I'm still trying out a lot of the supports. Again, this is not a definitive list. It's not strictly in order, though these earlier heroes are ones I'm keeping my eye on. Lich I could probably move up to here. I also think Lich is like decent. You know, something like that maybe. But pretty much if you're wondering, Zach, what do you think of this hard support? Ask yourself, how good is that hard support in the laning stage? How good are they at, you know, how much do they like to stay in the lane? And if they do rotate, how fast are they? How likely are they to succeed in the gank? And can they get any XP or gold along the way? I think those things are all really good for supports right now. Because if you do get a successful gank off on the mid lane or secure runes and stuff like that, mid lane is a lot more volatile now. So I think whoever wins harder because with the small camps being removed. But like I said in the last video, if you try to do that and nothing comes out, I think it hurts unless you're someone like a Crystal Maiden or a Mirana who's getting gold along the way, and it's like, you know, I didn't get anything in mid, but I got something, and I left the lane at a good time, so my carry's still happy. You know, that feels good. Moving over to the 4 supports, I don't have a good read yet on 4 supports. I think there's been a lot of variability. I don't know, 5s are a lot clearer to me, maybe because I just play more 5. But I've just been seeing a lot of different 4s, so I don't have like enough experience with a single 4 to really understand how good they are. But I do think Mirana looks good for all the reasons I explained. Decent laning presence. The arrow allows her to gank and get farm. Scales pretty decently, so she looks good. I think Nyx. I don't know. Actually, I can't explain why I think Nyx is like what about Nyx made him good, but I don't know. He just has a solid win rate, and he just feels impactful. I don't know. I think it's because it's hard to like bully him out of lane because he has such high regen. So he like just plays the lane, does what he needs to, and then he's got good ganking after that with his ult. That might be why. Bounty, I think with all these armor changes and the Janata cooldown, is just looking good. Start with boots, be very annoying in the laning stage. Get what you need, and then get track kills with your team. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's like busted. I just like the hero. I just think he's cool. I think his laning presence is very annoying for these extended laning series. And I just like the hero. So maybe this is biased. Maybe he should probably be. I should probably test him more before talking about it. Don't move him down. For the other 4s, I don't know. There's people I think are doing well, like Dark Willow, Tusk, Earthshaker, Rubik, Shadow Shaman, ET. If you play him, like a lot of these top list heroes, I think are good 4s. I'm just not sure what to tell you guys in terms of like, these are the best 4s, because I'm still, you know, still trying it out. And I've seen a lot more of the same 5s, but a lot of different 4 positions. So still trying to figure that out. That is about it for this video, I think. Yeah, let me know what you guys have been experiencing. The patch is still very new. A lot of this stuff will still change. Yeah, in conclusion, laning stage seems very important. Try to win your lanes, guys. Buy your regen, buy your small items, and play out the lane, get those banner creeps, and then snowball the game from there. That's how a lot of my games have been going. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next patch update, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Bye.